my stamping friends, this is Oksana from funstamper.com, and today I have fun two cards for you. I actually only have one here on display and another one we will create. I have a prototype using different stamp set, but I thought I will pop up and show you how to create two easy funky folds that anybody can do it. And we will use my favorite bundle from the new mini catalog. It's called Tulip Fields. So give me 1 second. Let me open you guys on iPad to see if everything working fine. I'm actually a little bit out of whack. I didn't do Facebook Lives for some time. Many of you know I'm originally from Ukraine, and last 42 days was really difficult for me. So I kind of put all my life on hold and didn't really stamp, but I really need to get back and start stamping again, as it's definitely bring me a lot of joy. If you're here, please comment. Like I was saying, I didn't do it for some time, and I know Facebook changing it, so I hope I will see the comments. So all right, so here's a card we're gonna make today. It's one of the cards. It's really easy funky fold. It's called easel fold. So you could mail it flat, and you could just set it up like this on a table, or you could open and write your sentiment. So again, super simple card. Let me show you what we will be using today. We're gonna be using this bundle, and we are only gonna use some flowers for that, and we're gonna use this beautiful bundle. I absolutely love windmill and tulip fields and everything. And when I saw this bundle and when catalog went live, I was just knew it's gonna be my absolute favorite. As you could see, oh my gosh, I was just in heaven when I saw it. I just like everything tulip, everything windmills and stuff like that. It's so springy for me. So if you overlook this bundle, look again, super cute images. So let's get started. So the first part, like I mentioned, this is what we made in my class, and everybody absolutely loved it. So any pattern of the paper will work. So let's see what we actually need for that card. So easel card, and actually this card is probably already posted on my website, funstamper.com. On my blog I have instructions, I have close-up photos, so you could go there and grab all this information. But it's pretty simple. So here just I'm using Pool Potty, and it's a long card, so it's a 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So basically it's scored in half and then in half again. So that's it to that fold. Normally we add like another piece so it stands, but now windmill will be actually what we will use. We will also need a couple other things. So gonna use Whisper White to go inside. We will use another piece of Whisper White. I wanted to use it on a flap. I want kind of some contrast with my designer paper. And designer paper, we will use, so this basic white is 2.5 by 4, and designer paper is slightly smaller. So it's gonna be, you're gonna use that one. It's actually 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. And we're gonna use the strips. I like to use strips because sometimes you have a lot of leftovers. So we're gonna use 3 strips, measuring 3/4 by 3 7/8. So here is my 3 strips. And for windmill, you could basically do any combination. I really like my combination to being soft suede for the top of windmill, crumb cake for kind of solid part. And I suggest you, when you're gonna do your windmill blades, I don't know how it's called, use thick Whisper White, because it's much more sturdier than regular Whisper White, or use different color. So there's a couple pieces kind of what to fit. All right, let's go ahead and start assembling our card. Let's start stamping first. So with this card, we will do just little stamping. I just want a cloud, so when my card is closed for mailing, I actually have some little something, kind of some background. So we're gonna, and here is 2 clouds that we're gonna use. They're so cute. And also those clouds you could die cut as well, and you could pop up, you could emboss, you could do so much with those clouds. But we'll go simple, right? Sometimes you just really need to have simple card, great for mass production, something that we will not feel guilty to mail. Like, oh my gosh, I spent 3 hours, now I cannot get rid of the card. So I'll use combination of larger and smaller clouds. And let's just trying not to do too kind of some random, but normally it's not. Okay. And let's do a sentiment, so that what is interesting is that stamp set, it doesn't have any sentiment. So you could use any greeting sets or any other sets. So I chose to use this Peaceful Moments. It has variety of greeting, and I wanted to use this one. Hopefully it will fit for the label I prepared. Yes, it will. Wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. You could also do thinking of you with all my heart. Maybe I'll do thinking of you with all my heart and send it to my daughter. So let's just put this thing aside. Quickly stamp. And the pattern I use has Poppy Parade, so I'm kind of, to make it much brighter, I will use that one, that color. All right. We are done with the sentiment. That's all the stamping. So we're gonna go ahead and glue inside. Also nice that it leaves some room for you for writing something. And that designer paper has so many patterns. I will show you in a moment. And you could use any pattern, any kind of combination. It's gonna look beautiful. The way I cut the strips, as I said, I did it for class, I kind of made it as a puzzle. So I want them to be matching, but you don't need to. You could just use any strips. And again, it is 3/4 of a strip. You could use like a bigger size of designer paper if you wanted to make it faster. I sometimes like this paper piecing project. It's interesting here in Florida. I always, when tulips kind of in the stores, when you could buy the bulbs that already kind of planted, like in Love's or Walmart Garden Center, I always buy it and watch them bloom. This year we had such a short season for some reason. Like they literally came up, and then I didn't see, like 1 week, and the next week you could not buy any spring flowers. So seems like it was some shortage of spring plants. So I didn't really enjoy much of tulips, and that's pretty much it. We will not gonna get any tulips here in Florida. So hopefully where you live, you will have some tulip fields or something like that. Yeah, but unfortunately, Florida doesn't have it. So we'll just do simple gluing. And again, this is such a quick card to make. It doesn't use a lot of supplies. So our focal point will be that beautiful windmill. I already went ahead and pre-cut everything. As you could see, we have this intricate piece done with soft suede and another one with crumb cake. You just quickly could put them together. You could use adhesive sheets when die cut, but they have kind of enough of bigger kind of areas that you could apply your wet glue that I decided not to use it. And give it a second to dry. I'll take my piercing tool that was just here, it's here, and I'll just poke a hole where it's supposed to be. And using your brads, we will assemble our windmill. I'll just do big black one. They have black and white of two different sizes. Either of them will work. It's kind of nice because this way the windmill will actually spin. And you could see brads a little bit longer, but it's super flexible, so you could kind of fold it on the back. If you don't put that tight as I did, let's give it a little bit softer one, so you could actually spin it. Maybe not. Now that other one spin, maybe the trick is a small blade, small brad. Well, this one doesn't want to spin. And as you could see, we could position that windmill here in our tulip field by just applying a couple of dimensionals. And will be it for our front of the card. And our sentiment will be our kind of stopper for the card when it's open. Like so. Let's see, right now it's not standing yet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take, I cut another label from Poppy Parade. It's the same size label, but you could, if you wanted to have little color pop up, just cut the label in half. Go ahead and apply glue on a side. And this way you will have a little border, kind of two dimensionals, without actually having two different sizes of something. And what's the girl need? Girl needs two things. So girl needs a ribbon. I always try to put some ribbon on my card. And I always like to put some bling. So with the ribbon, I'll show you a little trick if you wanted to add some ribbon. So I really like this ribbon. It comes with a suite. It's evening evergreen checked ribbon. So you just cut a couple pieces of the ribbon. Probably 2 inches will be enough, not much. And what I can do, I really like to use this technique. So I'll take a little bit of tear tape and do a little loop on my ribbon and put it on both sides. You could probably use, if you don't want to use tear tape, you could use scotch, you could glue different methods, but tear tape, I just like to secure my ribbon with tear tape. Here you're gonna do like that. Put it on this side, and you have little peak of ribbon, little kind of textural differences without actually putting too much. And we're gonna apply few dimensionals. Probably I will do 4 because we want it to stand nicely. Well, let's do 5, why not? And we will put it in a place, kind of, that's why I like to use that strips, kind of give me a placeholder where to put it. So I'll just put it in the center. That might, this loop become a little bit larger, but it's gonna be like it's gonna be. And what I'm gonna do, another thing with the bling, I'm gonna use this fabulous butterflies. I use a ton of them, especially for class. They are really nice, kind of those brass butterflies, but they're really heavy. It's kind of have nice weight to them. So, and I'm gonna just put them in both sides. And here you have it. So here's the card we just made with a different sentiment. And here is the original card. See, I actually use different color. I guess it still matches, right? Let me show you another card that I actually did a prototype for my class. But then I realized I may not have enough of that color of DSP. So exactly the same concept. I actually switched the way I did my windmill, and I ended up liking light and darker on top. But here is the same concept. So here you have it. Give this one a try. This is easel card. You probably know how to do it, but you know, sometimes we forget that some simple fun folds could be so satisfying. All right. I'm ready to see the next card. If you are doing any comments, I don't see any of them. Now see, I see it on my phone when I get up, but not on my iPad. I'll figure it out at some point. Have to do that. So another card. I actually don't have one done with the windmill, but I did this card for my wine class, I think previous months. This is another of my favorite stamp sets with the boots and kind of garden tools and stuff like that. So I saw this easy fold, this kind of step fold. I used to do kind of really complicated ways, the way you cut and fold and from one sheet of paper, but it's really, really complicated. This one I saw with just 2 pieces of paper. And I wanted to recreate this card using completely different designer paper and set. Let's get started. So let's see what we need for this one. So for this card, you will need pretty much like your half sheet of paper, your cardstock. Normally you do 5.5 by 8.5, but this time it's actually slightly smaller. It's 5.5 by 8, and you'll see when we're gonna score. So you'll need this piece, and then you will need another piece, and I did 2.5 by 6. So this is 2 pieces, and I'll show you how to score them. First, let's just score them first so you could kind of understand how we're gonna assemble it. So I'll pull my scoring tool. And on this side, on 8-inch side, we're gonna score at 1. We're gonna score at 2. And we're gonna score at 5. So it's here 1 inch, 3 and 3. That's why it's 8 inches. And this piece we're gonna score as tall as our card's supposed to be, so 4.25. Okay, so that's all the scoring. And let's just fold the scored line. So again, because it's a step card, so this is your steps, see? And that piece gonna be going over. And this piece, I did a 2.5 inch, but you could make it, you know, much wider, and it could stop. But the trick is you could probably do a little bit bigger than 6, but 6 is a minimum for you to glue everything nicely. And here you could kind of play where to put it. I think this one is even my smaller because I really wanted to include some sentiment, but you could see how it works. And then this piece of designer paper that we're gonna do, again, any pattern will work. I cut some of the patterns. So this piece is 3 inches, so we're gonna have 2 3/4 by 5.25. So let's go ahead and glue it. I don't know which side. I kind of want to more red. I like when you cut that designer paper every time you do. it's actually cuts kind of different, and you have a completely different look and feel for your card. So we're gonna go ahead and glue this. And let's just do a sentiment here, kind of like that. And for the sentiment, here's my strip. So I did 5 1/4 by like by 7/8 inches. So slightly smaller, could be 3/4. And I wanted to stamp my sentiment. I do send a lot of thank you cards. Actually, I need to send few right now for ladies that attended my class. And because I chose to use this particular stamp set, I'm gonna use thank you here. And the same, you could use pretty much any color. You could see that paper has so many different colors. So any color you will use, it's gonna be all right. So, choices. Do you want to use Blackberry Bliss? Do you want to use, let me use this one. I want to use Evening Evergreen. So it's a dark one, kind of, it's a green one, but it could also be neutral color. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp. Thank you. You're gonna go ahead and glue that little tiny strip. Same, it's also really good use of any strips you have. Whisper White strips, I never throw Whisper White away. Many times for the sentiments you need kind of smaller pieces. So many times for class I don't even cut small strips because I have so much. Okay. So here's pretty much your basic design. Again, you could probably do double matting and do, other options. All right. I chose, this is the same paper as we use on other card, but has really nice, beautiful flowers. So it's just 1/4 inch smaller, 4 inch by 2 1/4. This card will be posted tomorrow on my blog. So you could have all the dimensions and maybe rewatch. And first time you do it, it could be a little tricky, but then it's super simple. So how I actually did in my class, so for you to easy to apply, I use sticky strips, like I said, for 3D a lot. So you're gonna be on this side, you're gonna do like one line of sticky strip, and then here you're gonna do another line on top. See, like on the back you're gonna do sticky strip on top and on the back. So that's all. Then you're gonna peel the bottom one. You fold your card with the steps nice, and you position your flap where you want. Okay, so it's already sticked. You could probably use two strips, and then you remove this one, and then you just close it, and you have your easy step piece. Was it so simple? You don't need to cut kind of in between and score. It's just basic scoring. And for this card, the same, I want to use a windmill. I'm just in love with those windmills. So we're going to use it again and see how it's going to work. And we'll put a couple butterflies and we will have another windmill card. Yeah, just that set, it just made me so happy. Need to dig my old pictures 5 years ago actually. It's pretty much coming, probably another will be a day or so. I will have a memory popping up on my Facebook. So 5 years ago I actually went to Amsterdam for Stampin' Up convention, and I was lucky enough to go to the Tulip Fields, and they had windmills and all that stuff. It was just unbelievable. So I guess maybe that's why I'm that attached to that particular stamp set. But it was just probably the most beautiful thing I ever saw and experienced, because I was alone there. It was after convention. Actually, even some ladies that I met from Stampin' Up, they were not staying. So I went alone with an excursion from Amsterdam. Was entire day trip, but it was kind of nobody that I could kind of talk and wow, kind of share my admiration. But it was just unbelievable day. So let's see, I cut a couple strips in case I wanted to put kind of more tulips. Let's see if I'm gonna like this one more or not. Why not? Let's just try 2 1/4. So yeah, really. And then in 2000 we supposed to, my daughter was actually studying abroad in Delft, and we had like mid-April trip planned to see her. She's supposed to have like a spring break. We're supposed to be there in Netherlands for a week and go obviously to Tulips and do all this stuff. And you know what happened in April of 2000? Yeah, all trips get canceled and never happens. So when I'm thinking about this time of the year, kind of bittersweet. I really want to have great memories, really want to see things, but kind of remind me how our life could be unpredictable, right? We never know. So, but hopefully one day I will be able to do that. And let's just put a couple of those butterflies and we are done with the card. Somebody smart taught me at some point that you need to have like a 3 of embellishments, or 1 or 5, kind of need to be uneven number or for things to look good. So I don't know, I'm following that. I'm not an artist. I was never kind of artistic until I start stamping. So here is a card that we created. This is our step card, and this is the original one that I created with other set, but you could see how quick and simple we can make it. And here is a card, another card that we created today. So let me know which one is your favorite, which one you actually think you're gonna be recreating. And let me show you a couple more ideas with that particular set. When stamping is involved, we didn't really use that stamp set for stamping, but this is the card we made. Trees came from that set. We embossed flowers, extra die cutting, that little, I just love this little windmill. This card we did for my wine class, and I did that for swaps. So kind of similar idea with the strips and little windmill. This was a simple card with showcasing designer paper and the dies. And this one was a labor of love. It was a really interesting card. So every single piece is stamped. It's a separate stamp set and sponged. And it was a lot of work, but it was a really beautiful card. Everybody loved that card. And we also made this little 3D where this windmill is a star. And that little box actually made from a half sheet of cardstock and added 2 different labels. So that's all you have. Again, the instructions will be posted a little bit later today in this post, and you could also visit funstamper.com. Easel card already posted, and step card will be posted tomorrow. If you need any supplies, please visit stampinup.com and enter this host code. I really appreciate for all the support that you guys give me, for your kind words, for coming to my classes, for just being my friends. It's really, stamping is just a bright part of my day, and I could not probably function those last 42 days without my stamping friends and just my beautiful hobby, that I could just close the doors and be creative. So thank you so much for watching. I plan to be here next week at the same time at 3 o'clock. We'll see what we're going to be creating. I don't have any idea yet, but I will let you know. And until then, happy stamping. Bye.